I'm going to go over Snow and Sofi, but first up is the bank. We ended the week at $25.54, down 1.92%. However, we are pretty close to the one-year price target, according to the analysts, which is $30. And I'll show you that in just a moment. But first, your price targets. To the north side takes us to 26.26 at 2 standard deviations. Above that, if we get lucky enough to get to this level, that is 26.64, and at 4 standard deviations, roughly 27.02. If we chop sideways, that will take us to roughly 25.50. That's the middle of the trend and the baseline. Another level of support, 24.76. If we get lower, that will be 24.36, and don't hold your breath for price to get to this level at 23.98. And if we do get to that level, I will anticipate a buy-in as people take advantage of the dip. This is a potential stop loss area as well as a buy-in area, another stop loss area, and here as well. And on the way up, that's your sell signal, and another outlier, another sell signal, $27. Looking left, you can see here's your sell signal, here's your sell signal, your buy signal, and your buy signal. Many levels of support and resistance between -2 and 2 standard deviations. Now, I have stopped tracking this for the purposes of my gap and go trades, and I'll show you that in just a moment. But look how this landed on a price that I marked out at 21.36. It acted as support and then bounced off of that. This is resistance. We busted through. That's resistance here, that's resistance, and then another level of resistance. And I think that is it for the gap closures that I need to clean up. Oh, wait a minute, what is this? Oh, I did clean that one up. All right, so we've got a gap to the downside at 19.76. And that I do not think will happen within this upcoming week. So just keep that in mind, but let me show you something on the daily. All right, all these horizontal lines are from when, I tracked my gap and go trades. But I cannot see where the RSI, oh wait, right, let's see if I can get that to reappear. Oh, look at that. We are basically at resistance on the daily time frame. And on the weekly, let's take a look. Ignore my notes there. So the RSI, yes, overextended. We are at resistance and we are overbought. So what does that tell you? There's going to be a pullback. And on the monthly time frame, we are also overextended. So on the monthly, I have tracked this. It's easier just to count it on the monthly and show you. Let's see, I marked out this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's 1 year. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. 21 months for us to finally close out a gap from all the way down. Where did I start it? I think I started with this one, and then we flushed down and finally reversed up here. But because it hit $22, this is on the monthly again, up here, I've stopped tracking it, $22.75. The 1 year price target is now $30. Let's go back to the 5, option R. Right here, we are slowly going down. So I think we are going to give up some of the gains. It's like 1 step forward, 2 steps back with this ticker. So we have a $30 range to the high end. The current is $25.54, and here's your pullback at $20.72. Besides the other pullbacks on the 5-minute time frame that I gave you. So watch out for that. But it's crazy to think that I have tracked this on the daily. Look at this. how many weeks here? Look at all that. And it finally hit. Yeah, it looks like I started it. No, that's the $22 price target. I started down here. Well, we've got a gap here that takes us to 540. I don't think we're going to get that low. Not anymore. So this was the gap. I think that started it, that I was interested in it for a reversal. And it took that long. All right, the next one I want to go over is, let's do snow on the 5. Thank you to Trader Murat for pointing this ticker out. Option R. There we go. All right, let's give you, oh, let me delete that. I wrote that over here. We are at 238.66. Fix that. All right. We are chopping sideways. The middle of the trend, if we go for another leg up, we could chop sideways, and that will be 250.11. The 1-year price target is now 264.34 according to the analysts, but I think we could go higher than that. That will take us to 269.57. And then down the road, not right now, 280.09, and later 289.40 to the south side, 230.69, 220.59, a gap forms, and that's 210.96. These two gaps close out. This one at 194.68, and that one's at $299. So we had a sell-off at resistance down to support, and now we're going sideways, as I mentioned. Murad is hoping to buy shares on a pullback for snow and MDB, which I will look at later. So this is a good pullback area as well as this. But let me show you. Here's the 5. Look at all this just sideways action. And let me click on this. See the forecast. That's a good return, 10%. So 440 after that in the big picture, that would be incredible where we are now. That's an 84% return if you can hold on and just let it ride. And then to the downside, they're saying the pullback could go to 170. So keep that in mind. And I'll show you where we could get to 170 on the daily. As you can see, I've tracked this many times. Well, 174 would take us to a gap fill. But first, let's give you some price targets according to where we are right now. So we could just go back up to this red line. That's 2 standard deviations at 250.28. And then down the road from there, 269.30, and then eventually 288.78. And the middle of the trend and the baseline on the daily is 212.17. Then this gap closes, as I mentioned, at 194.68. And -2 is 174.20, and then below that, 154.03. And we have a gap. Oh, let me mark that out so we could even bleed out some more. Oh, we have one here and here. It's not guaranteed that it will close, but I'm going to say eventually it will. And while I'm here for giggles, let's just mark this out since I never saw that previously. It's good that you just go back and look at this charts on different time frames because it gives you different buy and sell signals. Okay, that one closed, that closed. I think, oh, what happened here? All right, I had a gap that I have been tracking. Let's make this a little bit cleaner here. So I said there was a gap and it was going to fill at 177.30, and I marked that out on the 5, so it's going to look wonky, but let's just extend it to here, and that touched in the month of May 12th maybe, but again, it gets wonky, so on the 5 it might show differently. So that though is done. You could have bought in at 168 to fill that gap at 177. Very nice. Right. And then there were other gaps here, like I didn't point out because I don't follow this thing. I'm not a diehard snow. I should have been. All right, that took us down to 175.38. And Marat has talked about this ticker many, many times. All the price labels in black is when I tracked that. And what happened here? I did not clean up this one. So let's go back and do that while I'm here. And that touched back in October 2023, 158.53. Delete. And what did Marat say here? CI better. Entry 248. Wow, look at how high that ran. Sold snow at 192. Good for him. All right. And then, you know, we went even higher, yes, but then look at we tanked. And what is this? Why is this off? So that is probably on a different time frame that I marked, and then I got sloppy because I touched some box that I shouldn't have. Oh, and this, I don't know why did I, oh, I used to mark out my middle of the trend and support resistance in different colors, and now I have everything in purple and white and yellow. All right, so that's the daily RSI. Oh, look at that. Yeah, cracked. Of course it's going to crack. Okay. And then on the weekly, it's still running on the weekly, and on the monthly, where I like to troll, still we have room to breathe to the upside and make some moves. And I looked at just the price alone back on June 5th of 2024. We got down to 134. Oh, 110. Very nice. 110 in 04. All right. And then again, that price target is now 400 bucks, which I haven't even marked out, and I really should, but one price target at a time. So let's hit that one, and then I'll draw at the 400. All right, that does it for me. That is a look at snow and SoFi. And I will do a video on MDB very shortly as well. And again, thank you to Trader Marat for pointing out these tickers. Have a great trading week.